Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. If it is your very first time to be here, please consider to subscribe. You can like, you can share, and you can comment. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just some 2 or 3 days since the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya was sworn in as the 5th. So many Kenyans, the new president was sworn in. Some changes had been made across the country. And here is that the government announces places where to pay President William Ruto's official portrait. And I think if you want, a portrait, the portrait of the president, those ones who are doing businesses in the country, you must have the portrait inside your business. You must have the portrait inside your job, offices, because it's one sign to show that he is the 50th president of the Republic of Kenya. Now, government spokesperson Cyrus Oguna has announced that President William Ruto, his official portrait is available to the public. In a statement on Thursday, September 15th, Cyrus Oguna stated that the official portrait, which will be sold at Kenya shillings 300. So meaning if you want to use the portrait of the president, of the 50th president, you must buy it at Kenya shillings 300. They can be collected from the Department of Information at the 5th floor, Uchumi House, Aga Khan Walk, Nairobi offices, and individuals at the country, sub-county levels can get their copies from sub-county information officers, Oguna said. The government's announcement comes just days after issued President William Ruto his official portrait following his inauguration at Kasarani Stadium on September 13th. Previously, officials and businesses are supposed to replace former President Uhuru Kenyatta's portrait with that of Ruto in honor of the change of guard. So the reason why we use the portrait is that to give honor and a change of guard. So this shows that you have changed from previous leadership president into the new president who is now taking over for 5 years before we elect another president. It's a sign of honor and change of guard. So this one, it tells someone the president of the country. It shows it indicates a sign of honor. What if there is no law mandating that all Kenyans display the portrait in their offices and companies? Previous administrations have issued previous guidelines on the subject. In 2016, that's now, the Ministry of Interior issued a statement alerting traders that they could face penalties if they don't have the president is portrait. Remember, Kenyans are being forced to have the portrait of the president in their offices, in their businesses, although it is not constitutional for somebody to have that portrait. It's just a wish. But in 2016, in the previous government, so it was some people they forced Kenyans to, you must have a portrait in your businesses, in offices. If you don't have, you might face penalties. I don't know if it is not constitutional, and I don't know why Kenyans are being forced. If you want Kenyans to have your portrait in the offices, in the businesses, and then it must be free, because it is cost at Kenyan shillings 300. That is too much for the Kenyans to afford. For the ordinary Kenyans, for the poor, they can't imagine for a day, for example, You have a business, you are running a business, you are running a business, you have an, okay, just a business. And imagine on a day, you make a profit of, let's say, at 1,000 Kenyan shillings. And this 1,000 Kenyan shillings, you just take 300 and pay or buy the portrait. The remaining is 700. So meaning that's a very big loss to. I think you understand. That is too much for the Kenyans to afford. In the new presidential portrait, the head of state, Dr. William Samuel Ruto, is dressed in a grey coat, white shirt, and polka-dotted yellow tie, which symbolizes its UDA party color. The presidential portrait also has the words, His Excellency Dr. William Samuel Ruto, CGH, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces, written in its photo. William Ruto's presidential portrait features a portion of the Kenyan flag on a grey background, in a contrast to ex-President Uhuru Kenyatta's, which merely featured a plain white background. Besides the new portrait, President Ruto has a new presidential standard, the standard which was first seen during his inauguration on Tuesday, September 13th, 2022. The nationalist flag colors on a shield and two crossed spears placed in a color yellow background. Additionally, it features a wheelbarrow, the emblem of the Ruto's UDA party. I have no issue with that. The only issue I have with the 50th President of the Republic of Kenya is that the amount is too huge. At Kenyan shillings 300 just to buy a portrait, Mr. President, that one is too huge. It is too high. It is too high. I think even if I think you have ordered for traders, it was ordered for the traders, businessmen, businesswomen, and all whatever offices. If you have an office, maybe private or public, you must have the president's portrait inside your business or your offices. So at Kenyan shillings, it is too high for the Kenyans to afford. I think that one, it should be free of charge, because it's just a picture. It's to show the love of their president. When I owe my president, when I have the portrait of my president in my office, when I have the portrait of my president inside my business, it's just a symbol. It symbolizes the love, honor to my president and my leader. So I don't know what it's for, because this one, I think, another thing that you are supposed to tell us, who are supposed to give us this portrait. Of course, we have said sub-county and whatever communication, county and sub-county or whatever. So are we supposed to pay this money to the government? So we take this money to the government, because if you were to issue a statement just to allow all the businessmen and the businesswomen who just do businesses, only to allow them to sell this portrait, it's only to give them features on how they should decorate, or pick a picture, or pick from one source, so they can give so many copies, they can sell outside, so that they can earn an income. So if we take this money again to the government, as huge as 300 Kenyan shillings, it is too huge. I think the government and the president, you should take this one for granted. You should take this one for the ordinary people. You should take this one as a huge man, as this is an expense. Imagine for the budget. Let me talk here. Let's share here something. If I'm just gonna, I want to I'm just okay. What am I saying? Oh, I'm saying, let's take it as a budget. If you want to do a budget here in Kenya, more especially for the middle class, if you want to budget for one meal, maybe supper, 300 Kenya shillings, it is too. You can use 300 Kenyan shillings to budget for 2 days. Sorry, for the whole day. For example, you take 100, you buy your flour, in your house. You can take the 100, you buy tomatoes, you can buy greenish, you can buy some spices. I think 300 is enough to feed the family of 3 people here in Kenya, just for a day. So if I take 300 and give it to the government just only to pay a portrait, I think the portrait, it is well and good. We should have it. And I think it is supposed to be a mandatory for every person to have a portrait in their houses. But just give it free. Give it free so that everybody can afford. Not all who can afford a Kenya shillings 300. I love my president. I want to have that portrait. I don't have money to buy it. Just allow me to have it for free. Yes. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, you can like and you can share. Let me see you in the next video. And my name is Dennis Kokorikontu. Bye. Bye-bye.